Prior to the episode, I'd gone to the ER with symptoms of anaphylactic shock caused by fish allergy. I needed to be intubated and placed on a ventilator. Then I was airlifted to a larger hospital. They put me in a coma for 3 days with drugs. My experience took place over the course of 3 days. I have no idea of days or times because time does not exist in the other world. Everything happens all at once, but there's no pandemonium. My personal experience has been as follows. As a result, I'm in a coma. It's pitch black and nothingness. It's quite dark. There's a lot of strain on me and everybody around me. I'm by myself. It's so dark that I fall asleep and I'm completely unconscious. I awaken in the abyss once more. I'm having a hard time moving through the void. It's exhausting and I frequently fall back asleep. I'm not sure how long, because there's no time as we know it in this other realm. But when time exists all at once, it isn't pandemonium because everything is how it should be. I'm on the other side of what I can only call a membrane. It's like being trapped beneath the ice on a frozen lake. Although it's not cold, this image works. I float beneath the membrane, becoming aware that the room in which my body is located is in the opposite side of the membrane. I can hear folks conversing. My daughter is on my right, a little behind me and in front of the ventilator. She's dressed in a crimson button-up top. She remains silent. She's clearly concerned and is concealing it. I recognize me. I'm trying to wake up my body, but I'm just lying there in bed. I'm still outside the room, under the membrane. I can almost see it through the ice. I was heartbroken for my family, yet unconcerned about my own body and its state. Then I'm back in the dark, the nothingness with all the pressure, followed by profound slumber. Deep sleep is not relaxing. It is emptiness that I have no control over. When I feel it coming on, I fight it. Then I'm in this light, but it's not the appropriate word. It's white and vibrating, but not unpleasant. It's all around me, on me, inside me, and out of me. It is risk-free. I don't see anyone else, but I'm acutely aware that everyone is present. Everyone I know and don't know. Everyone who's ever existed. I don't see anyone, but we're all connected. I'm merely dressed in light apparel. I don't have a distinct physical form, such as a body. I'm simply blazing light. Others wear clothing, while others wear robes. I'm aware that people dress based on their preconceived conceptions of what they would wear here, or what they believed they would wear in heaven while still here. I see these folks, but not physically. It's difficult for me to put into words. I use the phrase alive. That is a misnomer because it implies death. Death does not exist. There's a stage when we can choose to inhabit a body, yet abandoning it does not imply death. It is impossible to produce or destroy energy. It only changes shape. This is communicated to me but not in words. The information is simply there. I know I learned this as a young girl when I was in my body. It applies both here and elsewhere. In this place, I am a very brilliant light, and beings where very bright lights are in danger. The robbers who reside in the abyss collaborate to eliminate bright lights. I am aware that the thieves attempted this in both the physical world, commonly known as the present, and this spirit realm. There is no religion in this place. None. There is a spirit present. There's light, wisdom, and awareness. Knowledge is distributed as needed. It's also not a compilation of facts. It is given to you, and you do not need to recall it. It leaves an imprint and then vanishes. The impression is all that is required to keep it. I didn't see any loved ones or specific individuals. I didn't go looking for anyone. I simply savored the white light and the vibration that passed through me, feeling satisfied and free of any struggle. Then I'm sucked backwards, so hard into the black, empty. Then I'm back near the boundary between the void and now. I could feel myself passing through it. I imagine myself in bed. I'm not floating, but but I'm over myself. I wish I could explain this. My existence exists in what would be the room's ceiling region. I see myself, the monitors, the ventilator. Megan, my dearest friend, is there, and both she and my son David are crying. The nurses and respiratory staff rush in. There are alarms and flashing numbers, but I'm not terrified. I'm completely uninterested. I see my body in the bed, which is completely still. Megan and David, two of my friends, are now in another waiting room. In both my hospital room and waiting area, I am omnipresent. David and Megan are talking about how, if I survive this, I'll need someone to make medical decisions for me if I can't. This dialogue, as well as its location, has been confirmed. My attention returned to the room. The dialogue between my friend and son in the waiting area and what is happening in the intensive care unit are happening at the same time, but I'm able to shift my attention between the two. There is no time here, yet the events are in chronological order. My focus has returned to the room. The medical personnel in the room are concentrated and hurried. When the doctor comes, the crash cart is unlocked and drugs are inserted into my IV line. There's more medication, more waiting, and the nurse with the blonde hair pounding my sternum hard with her fist. If I could feel it, it appears that it could be painful. This event has been confirmed. I'm then sucked back into the darkness, the abyss. So much pressure is exerting itself on my chest. Breathing requires all of my effort. Though I have no need to breathe or fill my lungs, I feel compelled to do this labor for the outside me that's in my body. The profound sleep follows. I'm pushing myself through the darkness with greater physical effort than I've ever felt. I'm working so hard to discover the membrane or the light. Then back to profound sleep, followed by light. I go into the middle of the white light, which then becomes my clothing, despite the fact that I have no body. I press myself in even further, as if you were lying on your bed and squeezing your back into the mattress. I'm pushing myself into the spotlight. I dig my heels into this aspect of reality to ensure my security. I don't want to get sucked back into the vacuum, then back into the void. There is darkness all about me, not only from a lack of light, but also from the presence of what could be defined as terrible spirits, though this seems a rather empty and insufficient term. They're all around me, invading my space as if to hurt me. I'm quite weak, and I'm losing strength quickly. Then I'm drawn to a tall figure, certainly feminine, but standing like a warrior, adorned in bright white light, and drawn near to what could be her chest. She raises her fist, thrusts it out forcefully to punch, and hits the blow on the bad entity's head. It's dark, and all I can see is her, yet I know deep down that this is occurring. The demonic creature erupts and is sent away in fragments. I'm close to her, safe and warm, the bright spirit. Her presence is all around me, on my skin, inside and through me. We're like sand in a whirling funnel. It's difficult to tell where she ends and I begin, yet she manages to keep her look as a tall, strong woman dressed with light who is a brave spirit and my defender. I don't want to leave her, but I've decided that I can't stay right now. Although I would like not to, I must return to my body in the present. Everyone, especially the children, makes me uneasy. However, I am content with my decision and have returned to my body. Since then, I've been different. I meet people and discover things about them that I would never have known otherwise. I informed a nurse who had a new grandchild the name of the child. I told her that the woman had placed the infant in her lap, peeled back the blanket, placed her hands on the child's breast, caressed down her torso and legs, and finished by running her fingers over and past the child's toes. I told a nurse I met when I got out of the hospital about it. I had never met her, and she'd never had any involvement in my care. She was employed at a different hospital in a different city. I knew she and her husband had bought a house, which was why she had decided not to retire so they could pay the mortgage. I informed her right away that her decision was wrong, and that she and her husband had gotten preoccupied with themselves and their comfort rather than using their riches to locate their grandchildren and continue in a way that would enrich their families' lives. I've had a lot of similar encounters lately. I can even replicate a state in which I'm not in my body and may travel wherever I want, near the light or elsewhere. I'm not afraid of death, because there's no such thing as death, other than the body being worthless to us and being cast off. I miss the other world and long to return without being burdened by this body and everything that it entails. I'm having a hard time adjusting to my new body and mentality. Every week, I go to speech, occupational, and physical therapy for balance issues. Though I've not been diagnosed with stroke, I do have certain receptive and expressive aphasia concerns, such as knowing how to behave correctly in public. For example, when I have a strong feeling about someone, I approach them and tell them things, especially things that would help or comfort them in the future. I am always correct about the facts of their lives, and when I tell them whatever it is, they're always grateful and believe it was right on the mark. Have you ever opened a package and removed the contents only to have to replace them? The thing never quite fits back in. That's how I feel right now, like I don't belong in this box of body and mind. It's not the same anymore.